This is a pretty much a follow-up video that I just did about Jussie Smollett. Now, this isn't so much about him per se, but it does involve him. And this is not me like talking about like anything that I may have found since the making of the video. Because like I said, in that video, it was just breaking news and we were just finding out that all the charges against him got dropped. But what I will implore you to do is to head on over to Harvey's channel, Your World, because he did 2 videos, but really watch the video that he did about Rahm and Eddie Johnson. You know, they are, Rahm Emanuel, of course, is the mayor, and Eddie Johnson is the police chief for the city of Chicago. And really pay attention to what he says about that, because he's a Chicago native, so he would definitely be the person that would be more nuanced in that area. But the reason why I'm bringing this video up right now in particular, and why I have this image up right here, is because this is dedicated to them palm-colored Neanderthals that could not wait to get their pale asses up on social media and talk about some damn black privilege. Oh my God, the justice system is corrupt. It's a 2-tier system, and this, that, and the third. Oh, now you're just realizing that the system doesn't always work in your favor. That it can work in black people's favor too. The last time they were up in arms like this one up for a black person was O.J. Simpson, to my knowledge. And that was back in '95. But of course, many of us cannot see that because we didn't have social media back then. You actually had to be there to actually experience it. As a matter of fact, you can experience it. If you go onto YouTube and type in O.J. Simpson verdict, watch how white people's faces got scrunched up when they read that not guilty verdict, compared to how black people were when they did read it. The same thing is kind of happening right now. Now, Harvey did say something interesting in his commentary. Rahm Emanuel and Eddie Johnson, majority blame falls upon them as to why Jussie Smollett has walked away from this case unscathed. Do I believe Jussie Smollett lied? I do. But they did a sloppy job to try to get him. If they actually did everything by the book, Jussie Smollett probably would be in jail. But see, they, like Harvey said, they got cocky. They got besides themselves. They did the typical corrupt Chicago PD thing. And that's be corrupt as fuck. Like they got too, what's the word I'm looking for? They got too happy that they felt that they got what they would consider a golden goose. I don't know how much they were going to feel it was a golden goose out of Jussie Smollett, but I guess. And then you got to think also too, and I was reading some of the comments on my page where people saying you got to take into consideration that Jussie Smollett has political connections. Of course, he's a gay man, and his dad was a white Jewish man. And it might be some other factors in there, but those 3 definitely stick out. But them white folks that been leaving all these damn comments all over Twitter, for the most part from what I've seen, y'all got a lot of nerve talking about Jussie Smollett needs to apologize. I got an alert to my phone where they said the prosecutor said that, do you think that Jussie Smollett, it was a question, I can't remember exactly what it said, but they said no. I think it was something about forgiving him. They said no, he needs to apologize for what he did. Isn't it amazing how the tides have turned in this situation? I mean, it's simply amazing. Now, like I said, do I believe that Jussie Smollett lied and orchestrated this whole thing? Yeah, I do. But they handled this entire thing wrong. It falls mainly upon them, but see, them Trump supporters, and that's mostly the ones who's upset, are not going to come down on the boys in blue, because then that means they would get off cold, and they're not going to do that. So they have to point the finger of blame directly and solely at Jussie. It's going to take him a while to recover from this. It's not like he's this major star outside of Empire. Like outside of Empire, many people don't know who he is. So it's going to take him a while to recover. After this, he just needs to lay low and at best get some counseling. Somebody in his family needs to get him some goddamn therapy, because he needs help. Like I said, he moves and he operates like that of a sociopath. Remember the story that I brought to you about the DUI he got over 10 years ago in California? He needs help, like seriously. Now that all of this stuff is like falling up, like all these charges have been dropped, that's what he needs to focus on. Seriously. Like in the black community, we don't talk about mental health enough. But that's exactly at this point, since he's not going to be going to jail, that's what they need to get for him. They dropped all the charges. They say they expunged his record. But them white folks, y'all need to be quiet. Be silent. Because if this was the other way around, then, and we got up in arms, and rightfully so in most cases, then y'all would be saying the justice system is working. Get over it. And this, that, and the third. And y'all know y'all would say that. And have no shame in saying it either. And then have everyone throw it in our face. We remember what y'all said after what happened with George Zimmerman. And a host of others. See, y'all hate it when one or two things happen. One, something falls upon you by someone who looks like you. Or two, if something happens and not in your favor when it's done by someone who doesn't look like you, namely us. But any other time, y'all are okay with the outcome of anything. I just did a video about them putting up a billboard in Pittsburgh that had Michael Rosfeld's picture on it and Antoine Rose's picture on it. And under Antoine Rose's picture, it said criminal. And underneath both images, it said, get over it. Well, guess what, Palm Colored? Here I am to tell you right now, you get the hell over it. Y'all act like this shit is affecting you. And it's not. It's people are right. People acting like Jussie Smollett killed somebody. That's how they were treating this. They acted like this man went out and he murdered somebody. If anything, he did more harm to himself than he did to anybody else. Self-infliction. All the more reason that I say he needs to get some help. Y'all sit up there and y'all grandstand every chance y'all goddamn get. And then when people have the nerve to call you out, like what I'm doing right now, then we're being mean. I swear most of you act like some goddamn children. Well, if you want to act like children, you can be treated like children. That's not a problem. But I refuse to babysit. But y'all should see some of the stuff that they said up on Twitter. And forgive, y'all can hear that in the background. That's just my phone vibrating. Y'all should see some of the stuff that they have said on Twitter. And probably is still talking about right now, because I'm sure he's still trending. He shot up to #1 on the trending list on Twitter as soon as this story broke a couple hours ago. It's ridiculous. But they're going to keep on talking and whatnot. And they're going to act like the system has not worked for them in their favor forever. It was built to work for you and work against us. So whenever there's a shred of victory, we'll bask in it. And y'all usually get so upset. And I mean red hot upset. We'll bask in that too. Because guess what? I feel nothing for how fuming you are. I feel nothing for your tears. And I for damn sure feel nothing about your emotions when it comes to situations like this. Jussie Smollett, if not anything else, he's going to go down in history for this, because not many black people get this opportunity to say that they walked away from something that could have sent them to jail for a long ass time. And I thought it was very weird too, that the years they were trying to give him, 64 years. I said, come on, really? 64 years. 16 felony counts. Like alarms and bells went off when I heard that. And then that's when I started to look like, okay, this looks more like a witch hunt now, but I'll wait and see what happens. But yeah, like Harvey said, they got cocky, they got sloppy. And when you do that, then the whole case falls apart. So if they want to be mad at some people, don't be mad at Jussie Smollett. Be mad at Rahm Emanuel and Eddie Johnson and anybody else who has some involvement with this case on the prosecution side of the lane, because they are the ones that fucked it up. Y'all let me know what you think about this down in the comments, and I'll talk to you in the next one.